Hey everyone, welcome to my demo of Linux Mint. This is going to be part 2, and just before we get started, I do apologize for the humming in the background. I'm using a Dell Latitude E6540 because the audio in VMware was extremely choppy no matter what I seem to do. So I put this on an actual computer. This is a Dell laptop. The battery is not the greatest, so it's plugged into power, and it might be buzzing a little bit because of my mixer and things like that. I think it's some kind of grounding problem. So I do apologize for that in advance. Hopefully it won't be too much of an issue. So yeah, I am running this on an actual computer, so the performance should be better. And I'm using an Ethernet cable because A, this laptop has crappy Wi-Fi, and B, I can't really access the Wi-Fi right now. Anyway, so let's actually get started. And the first thing that I want to do is talk about installing new versions of software. And let me make sure I'm recording here. Okay, good. So every time you install a new operating system, or quite honestly, just in general, it is good practice to check every once in a while and make sure that you have all the updates installed. And of course, Linux and Mint are no exceptions. So, actually, what has happened, it keeps popping up the graphical tool. Every time I close it, it brings it up because there are pending things that need to be installed. Now, the thing to note with Mint is by default, the upgrades are not applied, which is good because it gives you, the user, complete control. Now, if you're configuring this for someone else, you might want to turn that on so that things are installed automatically, so that perhaps less tech-savvy users can use this and they should be okay. Although, I don't know if I would recommend using Linux in general to a non-technical user. I mean, I guess you could do it, but I'm just not sure if it's the best thing to do, just because there are times when you'll have to go into the terminal and do things. But I'm going to show you how to update the system using either the terminal or the graphical program. So I'm actually in the program right now, so if I tab around,
Scroll pane. Help push button. OK push button. Scroll pane.
Not very helpful, right? Well, we can use Orca's object navigation commands, which, if you are familiar with NVDA commands or the touch cursor in JAWS, this should work pretty much the same. So this laptop has a numpad. I'm going to hold down numpad 0 because by default the modifier is either insert or numpad 0. You can change that to caps lock if you prefer. Excuse me. And I'm going to hold down Control, numpad 0, and hit the left arrow key to go to the previous item, right to go to the next, up to go to the item that contains the current group of items, and of course down to go into a group of items. So let me do that now.
Left control. Update manager frame. No previous. No next. File menu grade.
Alright, so I just went down. Now I'm going to go to the right.
Edit menu review. Help clear. Select all push button grade. Refresh push button grade. Install updates push button grade. Welcome to the update manager label. This tool provides your operating system with software and security updates label. Security updates label. Apply security updates to patch vulnerabilities and keep your computer safe label. Software updates label. Apply software updates to fix bugs in your computer label. System snapshots label. Set up system snapshots to protect yourself from mistakes and regressions. If anything breaks, simply restore the last snapshot label. Linux Mint recommends to set up automated system snapshots and to apply all available updates. This way, your computer is always secure and you can go back in time and recover from any potential regression label.
That is good advice to have in general.
Help push button. OK push button.
So I'm just gonna
Help OK push button.
tab to OK and press enter.
Return.
Now,
Question: do you want to switch to a local mirror? Local mirrors are usually faster than packages.linuxmint.com.
I believe you have to manually modify stuff in here, so unless you know what you're doing, I say
Clear push question, no push button.
I would answer no, because if you're not careful, you can break things and then you won't be able to install updates. So the way it works in Linux is
Yes push button.
let me choose no.
No push return.
And now if I tab around,
Clear push button. Information page tab. Read only text. Image. Upgrade checkbox checked. Bind 9 DNS lookup utility. 1:9.18.28-0 Ubuntu 0.24.04.1. Tree level 1.
okay. So the way that updates work in Linux is that you have a package manager, and the package manager basically contains a list of links to different repositories, which to my knowledge is just basically a web server somewhere that has all the programs that you might want. What happens is the repositories are checked, the versions of software installed on your computer are compared to the versions in the repositories, and of course if they're newer, you'll have the option to install them and upgrade your system. Now the big thing to know is, unlike in Windows or Mac OS, where you may get a single big update that updates a bunch of components at once, in Linux you can update anything pretty much at any time, with of course the exception of packages that may be locked during certain distribution releases such as Mint. So basically, if those are locked, they can't be modified. I mean, you probably can bypass those locks. I don't know how to do that, and I think they do that for the sake of keeping everything stable. If you want constant rolling releases where you just update software at any time, you should be using a rolling release distribution like Arch Linux. So basically, from time to time, the update service has to be queried and the cache has to be refreshed. That way the upgrade tool knows that there's new stuff out there. So what this graphical program does, it runs a bunch of commands that I will talk about here in just a second. But this is what the graphical tool is like. It's not the most accessible, though I think there is an update to the updater. Yes, I know that is quite confusing, right? The updater needs to be updated so that it can install updates. Anyway, there is an update to this tool that may fix some of the accessibility problems, so I'm not holding my breath. But if I go up and down here.
Image. Upgrade checkbox checked. Curl command line tool for transferring data with URL syntax. Image. Upgrade checkbox checked. Firefox, the Firefox web browser. 128.0.3 plus Linux Mint 1 plus Wilma. Left
Okay,
control.
now I happen to know that is not current information, so we need to refresh the update cache. So there's a few ways you can do that. I happen to know that the keyboard shortcut to do it is Control R. If you tab
Clear push button.
to the buttons, if you use the right and left keys,
Select all push button. Refresh push button.
I'm going to hit refresh.
Space. Downloading package information frame. Show individual files toggle button collapsed. 77%.
Okay.
Update manager frame.
And once again, I do apologize for the buzzing. Hopefully it's not too much of a problem.
Tab.
So,
Left image. Type table column header not selected.
alright, let me tab around here until we get back to the list.
Image. Upgrade checkbox checked. Bind IND image. Upgrade checkbox checked. Curl command image. Upgrade checkbox checked. Firefox. The Firefox web browser. 128.0.3 plus Linux Mint 1 plus Wilma.
Okay, I guess, well, maybe this is the latest information. I thought it would offer me Firefox 129 since that just came out, but maybe not. I can also hit Control R, which will refresh
Downloading package information.
the list of
Update manager frame.
software here.
Tab.
Okay, so, and you can learn more about that if you press F10. F10 in Linux is the way to get to the menu bar. You can also use that in Windows, but of course in Windows the conventional way is pressing Alt. In Linux, Alt doesn't always work, so a much more reliable method to get to the menus is pressing F10.
File menu.
And of course, if you know how this stuff works, this works exactly the same. I can go to the
Edit
right
menu.
arrow.
View menu. Help menu. File menu. Help
I
menu.
can go down.
Welcome screen. Keyboard shortcuts. Contents F1. About. Welcome screen. Keyboard shortcuts.
If you click on keyboard shortcuts,
With a toggle button not pressed.
if I,
Tab. Tab.
let's see, let's Alt
Left
tab.
update tab. Toggle button not tab.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to use Orca review commands here again. So let's hold down Control, Insert, and right arrow.
Left shortcuts label. Toggle button not shortcuts label. Toggle short toggle no preview frame. No neck. Toggle no short toggle but tab.
Where I
Left
thought it was
update
accessible.
tab. Toggle button not
Let's use Orca flat review, which by default you use numpad 7 and 9 to go by lines, 4 and 6 to go by words, and 1 and 3 to go by character. Oh, wait, let me turn on.
Numlock on. 7. Numlock off.
Okay, this is
Left
not
update
working as I
map
thought it
search
would.
text.
Oh,
Toggle button
there we
search.
go.
Toggle
Wait, there's a search box.
7 edit dash clear dash. Pressed toggle. S update manager frame. Clear push button.
Okay, well,
Left control.
It's supposed to work, and I was in there. I think I found it somehow. There's a bunch of keyboard commands, including Control R. Like I said, this program is not as accessible as it should be. We'll see if an update fixes that, but I'm not holding my breath yet.
Information page
So,
tab. Read only
let me go back
text
over here to the
image.
list.
Upgrade checkbox checked. Bind line image. Upgrade checkbox checked. Curl command image. Upgrade checkbox checked. Firefox the Firefox left control.
Now, you could install everything in here. I'm not going to because I want to show you how the command line works. Let's uncheck Firefox.
Space. Image. Upgrade checkbox not checked. Firefox image. Upgrade checkbox checked. KRB5 internationalization support for MIT Kerberos image.
Yeah, whatever.
Upgrade checkbox checked. OpenSUSE Secure Sockets Layer Toolkit dash cryptographic utility. Image.
Oh,
Upgrade checkbox checked. KRB5 internationalization support for MIT Kerberos.
that's supposed to be Kerberos, which is like an authentication thing. It's not reading it right. Let's uncheck that.
Space. Image. Upgrade checkbox checked. Poplar PDF utilities left per space.
Let's uncheck
left
that.
Image. Upgrade checkbox checked. Python 3.12 in image.
We'll leave that
Upgrade
checked.
checkbox checked. WPA client support for WPA and WPA2 left paren. IDE 802.11 I right paren. 2:2.1
I think that's for Wi-Fi networks.
Image. Upgrade checkbox checked. Linux kernel 6.8.0-40.40 the Linux kernel left control.
Right, here's the kernel. We'll leave that checked.
Image. Upgrade checkbox checked. Bracket is an event-driven init-ramps infrastructure. Image.
Right, blah blah
Upgrade
blah.
checkbox checked. Evolution-data-server Evolution database backend server.
Evolution
Left control.
is a mail and calendar program, which I haven't looked at that yet. I need to see how accessible that is.
Image. Upgrade checkbox checked. Mint-common scripts and resources for Linux Mint. Image. Upgrade checkbox checked. Mint install software manager. 8.3.3.
Mint install. This is the update tool itself. Let's
Space.
uncheck that.
Image. Upgrade checkbox checked. Ubuntu system adjustment.
And there's a bunch of stuff here. So if I tab,
Clear push button. Select all refresh but install updates push button.
let's hit this.
Return. Alert warning. This upgrade will trigger additional changes. The following packages will be installed: Linux-headers-6.8.0-40. Tree level 1.
You can up and down through here.
Linux-headers-6.8. Linux-image-6. Linux-modules-Linux-module. Linux Python 3. Python.
It's telling you that additional packages will be updated. So typically when you install programs or you update programs, they will have one or more dependencies that they need to install as well, and this will handle that.
Cancel push
So I'm going to tab
OK push button.
to OK.
Update authenticate dialog. Password : password text.
Let me type my password
Bullet.
and press enter.
Bullet. Update manager frame grade.
So now it's going to be doing some stuff.
Downloading package files frame. Show individual files toggle button collapsed.
So
31%.
now we'll just let this do its thing here. And ooh, there's lots of background noise coming from
100%.
the system or from my
Applying changes frame.
system, because apparently I guess I'm not grounded or something.
Details toggle button collapsed.
So what it's doing, it is
0%.
installing these upgrades. You can read it with the cursor, I think. Let's see. Let's hold down Control, insert.
Left.
No,
Cancel.
well, okay. Orca's going to lag a little bit.
Details toggle button collapsed. Close push. Detail. Automatically close after the changes. Automatically close after the
Wait, what?
cancel push button. Close push button break. No next. Cancel. Details top. Automatically close after the changes have been successfully applied. Checkbox checked. 47%.
Alright, so it's still doing things. It's not really going to tell you because, like I said, this tool is not the most accessible.
51%.
The command line, as you will see here soon, is the most accessible way for a blind user to do quite a lot of things.
68%.
But we'll get to that here in just a second. So it is going to install these updates. Now this computer is using a platter drive,
80%.
so it's not going to be as fast, but we'll get there. And then I was going to say, when it was asking
96%.
to type my password, if you've used Mac OS before, you should be very familiar with this. Whenever the OS needs permissions to change settings in the system itself, such as installing programs, it will ask you to type your password. That is basically running those
Update manager
commands
frame.
as root.
Warning: reboot required. You have installed updates that require a reboot to take effect. Please reboot your system as soon as possible.
Right,
Tab.
it tells me I have to do that. If I read with the cursor,
Left select all push clear push refresh push install updates push button tree tab information page packages page change log page tree table information page tab.
there's a bunch of tabs here. I'm not going to spend too much time here, but there are accessibility problems. Like if you go into the menus under preferences, you can't tab around and get to the options. So I do hope that they fix that at some point so that keyboard users can use this much more effectively, because there will be people that aren't comfortable with the terminal. I'm going to close this.
F4. Let's desktop. Icon view 0
And let's bring up a terminal. So the default key command here to do that is Control-Alt-T.
Left T. Chris at mint : tilde frame. Left control.
All right. And I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the terminal. You can research that by yourself. But let's do the same thing I was doing with the graphical tool to install the rest of the programs that I told it not to. So I'm going to type
sudo space,
which that command runs things as root.
apt,
apt, which is the command line tool to install new software in Debian-based
space
distributions, and we'll do apps update.
update.
So it's a sudo or sudo, I guess is how you pronounce it, and then apt and update.
Return left bracket sudo right bracket password for Crisco.
It's asking for my password so it can run as root. I'll type the password and press enter.
Return 0% left bracket working right bracket. I'm : 1 http://packages.linuxmint.com Wilma in release 0% left bracket connecting to archive.ubuntu.left.
Now
control.
it's going to print out a bunch of stuff. I'm just going to not read all that because it's quite verbose. Let's use Orca's navigation commands to read by line. So I'm going to hit numpad 7 to go up.
12 packages can be upgraded. Run a Chris at mint :
$. That's the bottom. That's the prompt that tells you that you're back at the command prompt and you can type. Now, if I go up,
12 packages can be upgraded. Run apt list -- upgradable to see them. Reading state information. Building dependency tree. Reading package list. Hit : 7 http left
right,
control.
so you have all that stuff. Now to install the updates, let's do sudo
sudo space apt space.
And you can either do upgrade or
full-upgrade.
Now, from what I can tell, the second command is preferred because it will make sure everything is upgraded and remove, I think, dependencies that aren't required.
Return reading package lists 0%. Done. Building dependency tree 0%. Building dependency tree done. Reading state information 1%. Done. Calculating upgrade 0%. Done. The following packages will be upgraded: Firefox -locale-nkrb5-locales libxapi-krb5-2 libg5 crypto free libcub 5-free libcub 5 support 0 lib.
Right, blah blah blah.
After this operation, do you want to continue? Left bracket y/n. After this operation, 69.6 KB of addition. Need to get 78.5 MB of archives. 12 upgraded, 0 newly installed, 0 to remove, and 0 not upgraded. libpoplar 100, libcub 5, Firefox left control.
Right, so it tells you the things that will be changed. It asks you if you want to continue, how much space you need. So let's press Y. And enter.
Return 0% left bracket working right bracket. Get : 1 http://packages.linuxmint.com Wilma /upstream AMD64 Firefox AMD64 128.0.3 plus Linux Mint 1 plus Wilma left bracket 75.4 MB right bracket 0% left bracket 1 Firefox 6999B/75. Left
so basically,
setting up Mint install left paren 8.3.
Right,
left
it's still doing stuff here. So basically, you'll get text output that tells you the things that it's doing.
Setting up Mint lang progress : left bracket 80% right bracket left blank.
And it's not done yet.
Setting up Mint install left per setting up libpoplar -li setting up krb5 setting up libpoplar 1 setting up Firefox left unpacking libpoplar 1 left control.
Right, so I just go back down here.
Blank progress colon. Left bracket 80%, right bracket, left bracket 46 number characters, 12 dot characters, right bracket.
Now, Orca right now is a bit verbose on the punctuation. We'll talk about changing that here in just a second. But it is
Mint colon tilde dollar.
going to do that, and now it's done.
Processing triggers for mail cap left. Processing triggers. Processing trigger. Process. Setting up poplar dash. Process. Chris at mint colon tilde dollar.
And so basically, there's a whole bunch of text there. Like I said, I'm not going to have it read everything because that would take forever. The thing to know is once you get to the end and you see this prompt.
Chris at mint colon tilde dollar.
So that would be your name at whatever you set as the host name, a colon, and then a $sign. That tells you that you're back at the prompt. Let's do one more check here. So let's do sudo
SUD backspace.
Here.
SUDO space APT space UPDATE return 0% left control
right,
done. Building depend. All package Chris at mint. All packages are up to date.
Okay, tells me all my packages are up to date. At this point, I can reboot the computer.
Left desktop. Icon view 0 items.
And the quick way to do that, I'll hit Control-Alt-Delete
Left desk shutdown push button.
and Shift-Tab
restart push.
to restart, and the computer will reboot. So that's the quick way to install new software updates using the terminal. And again, I tend to prefer that because the graphical tool is not the most accessible. Ooh, and we're going to get some feedback here. I'll be back once this reboots. It will take about a minute. Alright, so here we are back at the desktop after I went through a reboot, which took like a minute and a half because I have a platter drive. So, let's talk about some basic navigation here. So in Mate, and generally in the system itself, a lot of the common commands that you're used to from Windows will work just fine. You can tab around, you can use the up, down, left, and right keys to move around. You can press Alt-Tab to move between programs, things like that. Control-Alt-D
desktop. Icon view 0 items.
will take you to the desktop. I don't have anything on the desktop right now. Control-Alt-Tab or Control-Alt-Escape will toggle between the desktop and the panels. The panels, to my knowledge, basically are like the system tray and taskbar in Windows. So if I hit Control-Alt-Tab,
left bottom panel. File browser, browse the file system with the file manager push button.
now this is I guess kind of like a taskbar. If I right and left arrow,
panel.
well, actually that's not going to work.
Panel notification area panel.
So I'm just going to the right, and as you can hear, it is providing very unhelpful information.
Panel notification area panel.
So you can up, down, right, and left arrow here, and it will move your cursor. You can also tab.
Surrogate 08:02 panel. Toggle button not pressed.
That's the
Click
time.
to view month calendar.
That's the time and the calendar. That does read.
Panel.
That does not read.
Show desktop button. Toggle button pressed. Firefox web browser. Browse the World Wide Web push button.
Alright, so actually you have to tab through these.
Terminal use the command line push button. File browser. Browse the file system with the file manager push button. Panel.
And then we have something that's not labeled.
Panel notification area panel.
I think the Wi-Fi icon is somewhere here too, but I don't think you can get to it with the keyboard. Like I said, they are using Mate 1.26. I think these are fixed in 1.28, so hopefully when Mint is updated to that, it will be better. But if I go back here with Shift-Tab,
file browser, browse the file system with the file manager push button.
You can pin things here. So if I press the applications key, which I think, let's see where, Let's hit Shift F10.
Right menu. Launch. Properties. Remove from panel. Lock to panel. Launch. Properties. Remove from panel.
Yeah, so you can bring up the menu and you can launch it. You can go into the properties. You can get rid of it here. Things like that. So you could pin commonly used programs here and launch them.
Escape.
So in that sense, it is like the taskbar in Windows or the dock on Mac OS. So that's how you get to that.
Left desktop. Bottom panel. Desktop. Icon view 0 items.
And I think there's some other stuff in there. There's supposed to be an icon that will open the update manager, but again, it's not reading, and I really hope that that gets fixed because that's pretty bad. Pressing Alt F1
Menu.
brings up a menu, and this is what I really like about Mate. I don't know of any other graphical desktop that does this and does it this well. So this is a menu, and for those of you that have been around long enough to remember what the start menu looked like in, well, versions of Windows prior to XP, you will feel right at home. And actually, you could use this classic menu as far back as Windows Vista, and then they took it away, which makes me quite sad and upset. But this is a categorized menu, so if I go down here with the down arrow,
Accessories menu, graphics menu, internet menu, office menu, sound and video menu, system tools menu, places menu, system menu, lock screen, logout Chris, shutdown, accessories menu.
You have different categories. Now, Mint comes with quite a few programs. I don't know how many of them are actually accessible, and I'm not going to go through them all because that would take quite a long time, but like let's show you
graphics menu, internet menu.
So if I go here and either press the right arrow or enter,
Firefox web browser, Matrix, Thunderbird mail, transmission, web apps, Firefox web browser.
That's the stuff that's in there. Let's go back to the left arrow.
Internet menu, office menu.
Let's take a look at Office.
Library, LibreOffice, LibreOffice Calc, LibreOffice Draw, LibreOffice Impress, LibreOffice Writer.
And if I wanted to run a program, let's say like this one,
Return.
I just press enter and it should open. Now, sometimes Orca doesn't tell you, and you can hit Orca modifier with numpad enter.
Tip of the day, 1/225.
Yep, so we are in Writer. This is basically an open source alternative to Microsoft Office. It is pretty accessible, though you can't use browse mode in documents, but that's also the case in Windows if you're using it with like JAWS and NVDA.
Run this action now. Show tips on startup checkbox checked.
I'm going to turn that off.
Space. Not checked.
It will show you tips, and of course, just like in Windows, you'll have to use your review cursor to read text because tabbing around will not read that to you.
Next tip, push bit untitled 1M dash, LibreOffice Writer frame.
Right, so now I'm in my document here. I can type
Left THIS space IS space A space TEST dot blank ISN tick T space LINUX space AWESOME question.
Now let's go to the top here. I can hit Control Home. I think this computer has a home key.
This is a test.
Yeah, it does.
Isn't Linux awesome? This is a test.
And of course, all the same commands that you would expect work. You can go
H capital T
to the right arrow.
HIS space IS space A space T.
You can hold down Control to move by word.
Play is this is a test dot isn't Linux is dot T dot lang capital I.
Not sure why it's reading it like that. Oh, I think because of the way the cursor moves. Or I can move down by line.
This is a test. Isn't Linux awesome?
right? If I press Orca F,
Size 12. Family name Liberation Serif. Paragraph style default paragraph style. Foreground color black. Background color white.
now actually, let me see something. I may be able to unplug my computer and run it off a battery, at least for a bit. I'm going to hit Orca modifier and P. Now this command is not a default. I actually went in and assigned this, but this will read my battery level.
Battery 99 plugged in.
Okay, so it's almost done charging. Then again, maybe I shouldn't, because I think the battery in this computer is quite bad.
This is a test. Left control.
So, as you can tell, that is my document. I can do things. If I press Alt,
Left alt.
see, that doesn't always work. So the best way to get to menus is pressing F10.
File menu.
Of course, this is a traditional menu bar, not those crazy menus that Microsoft came up with called the ribbon, which is garbage. So I can go down arrow.
New menu. Open. Control plus O. Open remote. Recent documents menu. Close.
If I go to the right,
Edit menu. View menu. Insert menu. Format menu. Bold check menu. Item not checked. Control plus B. Styles menu. Table menu. Form menu. Tools menu. Window menu. Help menu. LibreOffice Help F1.
right, you have all that stuff.
What's this? User guides. Show tip of the day. Search commands Shift plus SK. Get help on. Send feed. Restart in safe. Get involved. Donate to Libre license information. Donate to LibreOffice. Lie about LibreOffice.
Let's just see what we're running here real quick.
Return. About LibreOffice dialog. LibreOffice is a modern, easy to use, open source productivity suite for word processing, spreadsheets, presentations and more. This release was supplied by the Document Foundation, Debian and Ubuntu. Copyright 2010-2024 LibreOffice contributors. LibreOffice was based on OpenOffice.
Yeah, whatever.
Control.
I think they're using 24.2. I can check here. Let's use the object navigation.
No net version : label close push build : label environment version : 24.2.4.2 left x86 line 64 right / LibreOffice community label.
Okay, and then I'll just press escape to get out of that. Let's press Alt F4.
Left alt. F alert warning. Save changes to document left quote untitled one right quote before closing. Don't save push button.
I'm gonna
return.
choose
Desktop.
don't save.
Icon view 0 items.
And we go back to the desktop. So that's a pretty recent version of the Office Suite. I think the current version as of right now, as of when I'm making this recording, is 22.2.5.2. So it's pretty recent now. As we continue to march ahead here, this will become increasingly more outdated, which is one of the problems with running a distribution like Mint. Like I said, packages will get outdated over time, and that may or may not be a concern for you. It probably isn't in most cases, because I think critical security patches are always applied, but like I said, there will be some programs that will not get updates until the next major version. So that's a look at that. You know, I could open up Firefox, and I think I will show that here in just a second. I think, though, the next thing I want to briefly look at are the preferences for Orca itself. So to get into those, you can press Insert and the space bar. If you have a laptop that doesn't have the insert key, you can press Alt F2, which is the run command in Mate.
F run application dialog. Editable combo box.
And you can type in
editable combo O R C A space dash S return desktop. Icon view 0 items. Screen reader preferences dialog. General page tab.
So here we are in the preferences dialog. I'm not going to go through all these because it would take forever, but let's just give you an example here. You can, of course, just like in Windows.
Left help push button. Apply put OK general page tab.
Well, actually, no, you can't. Okay.
Tab. Keyboard layout. General page
I was
tab.
thinking Control Tab would work to move between pages.
Let help push applicant. OK. General page tab.
So no, if you want to move between pages, you go to the Tab control, and just like in Windows, go to the right arrow.
Voice page tab. Speech page tab. Braille page tab. Echo page tab.
The thing that you guys might want to do right away.
Tab. Enable key echo checkbox checked. Enable alphabetic keys checkbox checked.
Is turn off some or all of the keyboard echo.
Enable numeric keys checkbox check. Enable punctuation keys checkbox check. Enable space checkbox check. Enable modifier keys checkbox check. Enable function keys checkbox check. Enable action keys checkbox check. Enable navigation keys checkbox not checked. Enable non-dash spacing diacritical keys checkbox not. Enable echo by character checkbox not check. Enable echo by word checkbox not. Enable echo by sentence checkbox not. Help apply push button.
So let's
enable action. Enable function keys checkbox check space. Not
I don't want to hear that.
Enable modifier keys checkbox checked.
I don't want to hear that.
Space. Enable space checkbox checked. Space. Enable punctuation keys checkbox checked.
I will leave that on.
Enable numeric keys checkbox checked.
We'll turn that off.
Space. Not enable alphabetic keys checkbox checked. Enable key echo checkbox checked.
Or you can uncheck the key echo box, which will turn everything off. So that's quite customizable.
Echo page tab.
Let's look at something else here. Let's go.
Braille page tab. Speech page tab.
I think it's under speech.
Tab. Enable speech checkbox check. Verbosity panel. Punctuation level panel. Punctuation level. Most. Selected radio button.
Let's go up arrow
to
some.
Selected radio button.
And then I'll so you can either hit Alt A to apply your changes, or I'm just gonna go back here to the OK button. Actually, I think just like in JAWS, you can press Orca modifier E.
Default button not found.
Okay, there is no default button in this dialog, so let's just Shift Tab.
Enable speak OK cancel OK for return. Screen reader settings reloaded. Desktop. Icon view 0 items.
So now you'll notice that it's a little
Tab.
less.
Tab.
Wait, why is it still reading tab characters?
Numlock on.
Okay, well, it's not reading the numpad characters anymore.
Numlock off.
I told it not to read.
Icon view 0 I tab.
Okay, well, I'm not sure why it's doing that. It should have turned off modifiers, unless tab is... Oh, that might be classified as an action key. Anyway, that's how the preferences work. So you can go through the tabs. There are checkboxes and combo boxes and radio buttons that all work the same way that they would in Windows, and that's how you can use those. Let's see, I know this is getting a bit long, so I'll cover a few more things here and then we will wrap this up. Let's just show you how to browse web pages. It basically works the same way that it does in Windows.
Menu.
So I'm going to go Alt F1.
Accessories wrap into Firefox web browser. Return.
Let's open Firefox. It's going to make me go through the setup process. Let me Alt Tab here.
Desktop. Icon view 0 items. Desktop. Icon view 0 items.
Let me actually pause the recording. I want to figure out why it's speaking tab, because I thought I turned that off. Okay, yeah, so the checkbox for action keys was checked, and that's what was making it read that. So now if I tab around,
import from previous browser checkbox checked, not checked.
See, now if I hit the space bar, it doesn't read that.
Save and continue, push skip this step, push
if I hit skip, let's press enter, it shouldn't read that. It does not.
Encrypted when you hop between devices.
So this is the initial setup experience for Firefox. I'm just going to skip all this.
Push send yourself a down, skip this.
Skip.
Personalize your Firefox add-ons are tiny. Explore staff skip this.
Skip.
Firefox has your back. Thank you for using. Start browsing. Push.
Start browsing.
Search or enter address editable combo box. Finished loading new tab.
Now I think I'm putting the box to type. Of course, you can press Alt D.
D. Search or enter address editable combo box.
And let's just go to
www dot selection deleted. I dot selection TO
It's not reading all the keys I typed. Oh, because I turned off numbers.
5
So we go to 9 to 5 Mac.
MAC dot COM.
And again, this just gives you an idea of the things that you can customize in Orca itself. I'm not going to go through all the preferences because there are a lot of them and it would take forever.
Search with Google.
I mean, if you guys really want me to, I can make a part that's like exclusive to that.
Finished loading. Finished loading. Finished loading. Finished,
okay, I don't know why it's reading like
finished
that.
Loading.
Let me just tab here.
Skip to main content link. Finished loading. Finished.
Let's jump by heading, so I'll just press H.
3 months with the M4 iPad Pro, now powered by Apple Intelligence Link, heading level 2.
Of course, you can
Finish
press
loading.
K.
K. Avatar for Ryan Christoffel image link. K. Ryan Christoffel link. K. Avatar for K. 3 months with the M4 loading. Please wait. 3 months with the M4 iPad Pro, now powered by Apple Intelligence, 9 to 5 Mac. Finished loading 3 months.
Right, there are preferences that you can customize. So if you hit Control Orca modifier and space.
Screen reader preferences for Firefox dialog. General page tab.
You can customize preferences on an application by application basis, which you might find useful. I'm just going to change
Firefox page tab.
Some settings for Firefox itself.
Page navigation panel. Control caret navigation check automatic focus mode during caret navigation enable structural navigation checkbox check automatic focus mode automatically start speaking a page when it is first loaded checkbox check.
I don't want that.
Not check. Present summary of a page when it is first loaded checkbox check. Not check.
I don't want that.
Enable layout mode for content checkbox checked.
We'll turn off
not checked.
That as well, which will put links on individual lines. I know it's not how it works visually, but for a screen reader user, it makes it easier to find links.
Table navigation panel. Speak cell coordinates checkbox checked.
I don't want to hear those.
Not speak multiple cell spans announce cell header checkbox check. Skip blank find off only minimum help apply OK. Screen reader settings reloaded.
There we go. So now let's press H.
3 months with them.
And I'll just
iPad
down arrow.
Powered by Apple Intelligence. Avatar for Ryan Christ. Main content tog 7 to bar. Image link 10 comment lang. Apple launched the M4 iPad Pro in May, and I've been using the 13-inch model as my full-time computer. Finished loading. Finished loading sync pixels.
I don't know why it's saying all that.
Finished ever since link. Finished. I've had 3 months with the device. to running. Finished
Let me restart
screen reader off.
The reader here.
Screen reader on. 3 months. iPad OS Apple in iPod. I've had 3 months with the device. to running. iPad OS 18, and now a couple weeks with Apple Intelligence Link. In iPad OS 18.1. Here's what I've been loving about the new iPad Pro, and the areas it falls short. Finished loading.
Right, so I'm just pressing the down arrow to read.
My daily computing needs and workflows heading level 2.
Of course, you can read by word.
My daily computing needs and workflows.
If I press H.
Cellular remains a difference maker heading level 2. M4 chip and Apple Intelligence heading level 2. Pain points heading level 2. Future of the iPad heading level 2.
And you get the idea. So I'm going to close this.
Desktop. Icon view 0 items.
So once again, if you're used to web browsing in Windows, you will be right at home here. The commands are pretty much the same, and you shouldn't have too much trouble. Alright, let's do a couple more things here. If I go into the menus here.
Menu. Shuttle lock screen system menu.
The
Places
menu, this takes you to things like
Home folder.
Your home folder, which is the same as your user folder in Windows.
Desktop, documents, music, pictures, videos, downloads, computer, network, connect to server, search tool, home folder.
Right. The file manager concepts are pretty much the same. You can arrow around, you can press enter to go into folders, you can press enter on files to click on them. If you guys want me to go into depth on that, let me know, and I guess I can make a part 3, but I'm trying not to make this one go on for too long. I do want to show you a couple more things, though. The first being the control center, and then in installing some programs. Let me go.
Places system menu.
Let's go in here to system.
Preferences menu. Administration menu.
There are categorized preferences in here, or you can just go to the main
control center. Icon view the control center frame. Search text.
You can look for things here by typing in things, but if you just tab around.
Administration push button, hardware push button, internet and network look and feel push, personal push button, other push button, change theme push button, set preferred applications push button, backup tool push, driver manager push button, additional and proprietary drivers.
Let's actually look here. This is the driver manager. You shouldn't need to go in here, but if something on your computer isn't working right, you can go into driver manager. And it's Alt Tab here. Oop, why is it not? Uh-oh. It's not reading to me. That's not good. Let me pause the record. Wait.
Control center frame. Driver manager.
Okay, so
control driver manager.
Here we go. Driver manager. This is not the most accessible from the keyboard either. Let's use Orca's object nav. Uh-oh.
Control driver manager.
Let's use flat review.
Control driver manager.
Why is it not? Let me restart Orca.
Screen reader on.
Well, I thought this was kind of accessible. Maybe not.
Controls.
It really doesn't like that. What the heck? Can I close out of this and go back into it?
S.
I'm trying to restart Orca.
S. S. Caps lock on, caps lock, no next, no window, control center, no next.
Let me restart Orca. So I'm going to hit Alt F2.
ORCA
Dash R. Oh, it totally locked up. Let me reboot real quick. If it'll let me reboot. I think the OS just locked up on me. Hold on a second. Let me pause. Okay, so I played with the object navigation commands until it started responding again, and then I was able to restart the system. Yeah, that was really weird. Let's try this again here. I'm gonna go about it though a slightly different way.
Menu, Shalala system menu, preference administration menu, backup tool, users and update time and the system reports, Synaptic software sources, Synaptic package manager.
That is another package manager. I don't really mess with that. I don't think it's terribly accessible.
Software sources, software manager, printers, login win, driver manager, icon view 0 items.
Let's try running it from this menu instead of the main control center. If I Alt Tab here. Wait. Oh. Unless it just doesn't like.
0 items tab desktop. Driver manager. Driver manager.
Oh, I guess
no next, no 0 items status. Driver.
It really doesn't like driver manager.
No pair, no pre, no pair, no next. Driver.
Okay, well,
driver manager. Desktop. Marco dialog driver manager is not responding. You may choose to wait a short while for it to continue or force the application to quit entirely. Wait push button.
Okay, well that's not supposed to happen.
Driver manager.
That's why it's making Orca lock up because it's not responding.
Desktop. Desktop.
Alright, well, let's not mess with that because clearly it's having problems, so I guess it'll be fixed in an update, or I hope so. But that's how you're supposed to get drivers. I think it's reasonably accessible, not completely, obviously. So that's a little disappointing that I can't show you that. Let's
Menu. Shalala assist places system man preference administer control icon view the control center frame.
So
you
know, you can tab through here.
Change theme set preferred backup tool driver manager login window printers push software manager push button install new applications.
Okay, this is the graphical tool to install new software, and we'll take a quick look at this, but as you can see, it is not accessible.
Software manager frame. Search text.
So there's the box to search.
Push button.
If I tab.
Search text. Push button. Search tab. Push button.
It just says push button. If I up and down arrow, nothing. Let's go to the right.
Search push button.
Let's try flat review by line.
Generating cache. 1 moment.
Oh, it's
Spinner back edit find symbolic Spinner generating cache. 1 moment.
Let's hold down.
Spinner generating cache. 1 moment. Software manager. No next, no pre, back push, search tag, toggle button, push button, search tag, toggle button, pressed grade, push button, search text, toggle button, pressed grade.
So I'm just using
search to current listing.
Object Nav.
Dropbox Cloud Synchronization Engine, CLI, and Nautilus Extension.
Wait, actually.
GIMP, GNU not selected. Not selected. Not selected. Not selected.
I'm just tabbing here.
Not selected. Not selected. Not selected. Not selected.
Let's go.
Not selected. Not selected.
Up and down arrow.
Not selected.
Right and left arrow.
Not selected. Not selected.
As you can tell, this is not very accessible. It was reading a couple programs, and then it quit doing that.
Not selected. Not selected.
So what you're supposed to be able to do is choose things in here, and the graphical tool will just install those. But this is not accessible right now. Hopefully they fix that.
Software manager push button. Install new application.
Get out of that. Back in the control center.
Software sources push button. Configure the sources for installable software and updates.
Yeah, don't mess with that unless you really know what you're doing, because you can mess things up. And if you mess up the links to the repositories, you won't be able to get new software or software updates unless you know how to fix it or install the system again.
Synaptic Package Manager push button.
That's another package manager. I don't mess with that because it doesn't seem to be very accessible.
System reports push button. Time and date push button. Update manager push button. Show and install available updates.
We took a look at that at the beginning of this part.
Users and groups push button.
I don't know how accessible this is.
Bluetooth adapters push button. Bluetooth manager push button.
This is Bluetooth stuff. This computer doesn't have Bluetooth.
Disks push button. Manage drives and media displays push button. Change resolution and position of monitors and projectors.
I could go through this forever. Let's just show you one more part of this.
Keyboard push button. Keyboard shortcuts push button.
Okay.
Assign shortcut keys to commands.
This you will be curious to actually check out because it lets you assign custom keyboard commands.
Keyboard shortcuts dialog. To edit a shortcut key, double-click on the corresponding row and type a new key combination, or press backspace to clear. Accessibility expanded 3 items.
Right, so if I go down arrow.
Toggle accessibility, toggle magnifier, toggle screen reader, Alt plus Mod 4 plus S.
Mod 4 is the Windows or super key. You could change that if you wanted to.
Toggle on screen keyboard. Alt plus Mod 4 plus K. Desktop expand. Show the panel's run application dialog box. Alt plus F2. Show the panel's main menu. Alt plus F1. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot of a window. Run a terminal. Control plus Alt plus T. Rename current workspace. Disabled. Launch help browser. Disabled. Launch calculator. Calculator.
So, you know, maybe let's say I want I don't know, let's say I want Control-Shift-C to run the calculator.
Shortcut column header calculator.
So I press Enter here to assign a command, and then I'll type the command. So I'll press Alt-Shift-C.
C.
And
Launch help. Launch calculator. Shift plus Alt plus C.
There we go. So I just went down arrow, or went up arrow and then down arrow.
Launch email client. Mail.
Can do the same thing for email.
Launch instant messenger.
Internet.
Messenger. Launch web browser. www.
Instant Messenger, I think Pigeon is an accessible IM client if you want to use those classic messenger things.
Log out. Disabled. Shut down. Control plus Alt plus Delete.
You know, you can make keyboard commands for those things.
Lock screen. Control plus Alt plus L.
Let me show you a few more that I like to do.
Home folder. Explorer.
Let's do Alt-Shift-H for home. Press Enter, type Alt-Shift-H.
H. Search. Home folder. Shift plus Alt plus H.
There we go.
Search. Launch settings. Tools.
Let's do Alt-Shift-S.
S.
This will open the control center.
Search. Launch settings. Shift plus Alt plus S. Window management text. Move between windows using a pop-up window. Alt plus Tab. Move between windows of an application using a pop-up window. Alt plus A. Terminal. A. Run. Move between panels and the desktop using a pop-up window. Control plus Alt plus Tab. Move between windows immediately. Alt plus Escape.
Alt-Escape. I'm not sure what that does.
Move between windows of an application immediately. Alt plus F6.
Okay, so I guess if you have multiple windows in a program, you can do things.
Move between panels and the desktop immediately. Control plus Alt plus Escape.
Okay.
Hide all normal windows and set focus to the desktop. Control plus Alt plus D.
I just talked about that.
Switch to workspace 1. Disabled. Switch to workspace 2. Disabled.
Workspaces are virtual desktops, and the default keys to move between them are Control Alt left, right, up, and down. So if I hit Control Alt down arrow,
Workspace 1.
well, it's not going to work.
Shortcuts dialog to workspace 1. Keyboard short. Switch to workspace 3.
Like if
Disabled.
I hit Control Alt right arrow,
Workspace 2. Desktop. Icon view 0
if I
items.
Alt Tab,
Desktop. Icon view 0
you see
items.
that there's nothing here because the keyboard preferences window is on Workspace 1. You have up to 4.
Workspace 3. Workspace 4.
I don't know if you can add more,
Workspace 2.
so I'm just going back to the left with Control Alt left arrow.
Desktop.
Maybe
Icon view
you
0
know,
items.
you could assign keyboard commands. You get like Control Alt 1 for number 1, 2 for number 2, 3 for 3.
Workspace keyboard shortcut style.
Let's keep going here.
Switch to workspace 4. Switch to workspace on the left of the current workspace. Control plus Alt plus left. Switch to workspace on the right of the current workspace. Switch to workspace above the current workspace. Control plus Alt plus up.
Okay, these I do want to clear because I want to assign these to change the volume. So I'm going to hit backspace.
Window management expand. Long window manage. Move between windows. Move,
Why does
move,
it-
move, 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 switch to workspace on the right of the. Switch to workspace above the current workspace. Control plus Alt plus up.
Let me hit enter and then backspace.
Control plus Alt plus switch to workspace above the current workspace. Disabled.
Okay, so yeah, so if you want to delete a keyboard command, you press enter.
Switch to workspace below the current workspace. Control plus Alt plus down.
And then you hit backspace.
Control plus Alt. Switch to workspace below the current workspace. Disable. Switch to previously selected workspace. Disabled. Activate the window menu. Alt plus space. Toggle full screen mode. Toggle maximization state. Maximize. Restore. Toggle. Close. Minimize. Move. Reset.
Let's go down here.
Lower. Max. Tile. Move window to north. Top. Monitor. Move. Volume mute. Sound expanded. Volume mute. Audio mute.
You may want to have some keyboard commands to control volume and mute status. Let's do that. Let's do Control Alt M for mute.
M. Control plus sound at volume mute. Control plus Alt plus M. Volume down. Audio lower volume up. Audio raise volume mute quietly. Volume down quietly. Volume down. Volume mute. Control plus
Okay,
Alt plus M.
I don't want the quietly options because I want to hear sounds when I change the volume.
Volume down. Audio lower.
Let's do Control Alt down.
Control plus volume down. Control plus Alt plus down. Volume up.
And Control Alt up
Control
for
plus
volume up.
Alt plus up. Volume. Microphone mute. Audio mic mute.
You can do things with your microphone. I'm going to add one more command.
Help add push button.
So I'll tab over to add.
Custom shortcut dialog. Name. Text.
And we'll call this
RESTART Orca. Restart. Command. Text.
So you can actually assign a keyboard command to any command that you would like. In this case, I want to assign a keyboard command to restart Orca, just in case it gets locked up or things like that happen. So let's type Orca
ORCA
space
-R.
Okay.
Browse applications. Cancel put apply push button.
I'll hit apply.
Keyboard short close add push help microphone.
Now I have to go down here.
Run, play, pause, stop previous track, net eject, custom shortcut sex, restart Orca, disabled.
It's disabled right now. Let's press enter. And I like to do Alt Windows Shift S.
S. Custom restart Orca. Shift plus Alt plus Mod 4 plus S. Hell add remove close control center frame. Keyboard shortcut.
Now my keyboard commands are assigned.
Control center control.
Right. I can change the volume. Let's show you one more thing in here.
Mouse push power management sound push.
Let's go into sound.
Sound preferences dialog.
And tab over here.
Checkbox not sound effects page tab alert volume. Sound theme. Combo box. No sounds.
Let's go I think you go down. Wait.
Choose an alert. Sound theme. Combo box. No sounds. Choose a sound theme. Combo box. No sounds. Choose an alert sound. Panel. Choose an alert sound. Table with 1 row 3 columns. Checkbox checked. Default.
That's fine.
Enable window and button sounds checkbox not checked. Close push button.
I want that.
Controls advanced.
Now if I change the volume.
Control.
Let me actually turn off
Screen reader off.
Orca. Right. Now we get some nice little clicks when you change the volume. So that's just
screen reader off. Controls.
Let me turn that down a little bit.
Control and firewall configuration push button.
There's a bunch of stuff you can do in here. Like I said, I'm not going to mess with this.
Icon view 0 items.
Let's go back to the desktop here. And let's see here. I think the last thing I'm going to talk about is installing software. So let's bring up our friend the terminal.
Chris at Mint.
And we'll do an apt update.
SUDOAPTUPDATE sudo password for Chris.
Type my password.
0% working. 1:1H51 done.
Whatever.
Build black Chris. All packages are up to date.
Good. We don't have any new software. That's good. Now, to install things with apt, you have to know the name of the package. You can search. So if I type apt search,
SEARCH.
let's just say we want Discord.
DISCORD. Plib.time calendar Discordian Perl extension
Let
lang.
me go to the bottom here, read up by line.
Ruby Discord and web Python 3 Python Disc Purple Discord messaging service plugin for lib PHP lib Chris at Mint plib.time calendar Discordian Perl ext.
Alright, I don't think Discord is in the default apt repositories. So we're going to use another tool called Flatpak, which is installed by default to get that and some other stuff. But before I do that and talk about that, let's install VLC, because I do know that is in the default repositories. Let's do sudo install
VLC reading package lists 0.
Right.
After this operation, 83.6 MB of additional disk space will be you need to get 19.0 upgraded, 35 newly installed, 0 to remove, and 0 not upgraded.
Right, so it's going to install the player and a bunch of other things that it needs. I'll press Y.
0% working. Get :1 HTTP. Extracting templates from packages. Reading database.
Right.
Select prepare. Select 6% up 9. Unpacking libkit 1 code.
It's going to read a bunch of stuff to you. Just wait till it's done.
Selecting previously unselected package LibreSID builder 0 C. Selecting previously preparing to unpack. Selecting previously prepared. Selecting previously unset 3%. Selecting previously. Selecting unpacking prepare setting up libkit 5 setting up VLC plugin setting 5% setting up libkit setting
If I had an
processing
SSD, wait, I think it's done.
97 processing triggers for mail cap prod.
And it should be done.
Progress 99% 57
Should be done.
number
Give it just a second.
dot. Chris at Mint $.
Yep, it's done. So now the player has been installed. I can check that by going into the menus.
Menu. Extract in off sound and
It should
video
be
menu.
under sound and video.
Celluloid, Hypnotix, Rhythmbox.
These are all programs that come with Mint. I don't know how accessible they are.
Sound, VLC Media Player. Chris at Mint $. Privacy and Network Access Policy. Continue push button. Network Access Policy panel. Allow metadata network access checkbox check. Continue push VLC Media Player frame.
Here we are in VLC. If I had some downloaded files, I could play them. But, I can press F10. Oh, okay, that's not working in this case. Let's press Alt.
Media. Playback.
Okay, yeah, so sometimes the behavior to get into menus is really inconsistent, and I don't get that.
Audio, video, full screen, set as wallpaper.
Right, but here's all your menus in VLC.
Video, VLC Media Player frame.
All the default keyboard commands work, so if you've used this in Windows, it works exactly the same. There is actually in Control Center, there's a section called Preferred Applications where you can set the default programs for things. I'm not going to cover that because it's pretty self-explanatory, but like you can go in there and say, I want LibreOffice Writer to be my default for documents. I want the default music player to be this.
VLC Media Player.
Right. I want Orca to come on automatically when I start the computer. Things like that.
Chris at Mint.
Let's go back to the terminal and I'll show you Flatpak really quickly to conclude this. Flatpak is basically, it's a, I guess you could say like a containerized platform for installing programs. So the update manager can actually check for and install updates to Flatpaks as well. But again, I find it is much more accessible to use the command line itself. So to work with Flatpak, you use the Flatpak command. So I'll type
F-L-A-T-P-A-K.
Type Flatpak search
S-E-A-R-C-H
Brave.
B-R-A-V-E. Name, description, application ID, version, branch, remote, Brave, fast internet, AI, ad.com.brave.browser 1.68.137 stable flash of Whats, Qt WhatsApp web client for Lie, 4.ktechbit.whatc4.1.
There's a bunch of stuff in there. Let's just say that I want Brave. So this is a much easier way to install Brave than the way that they recommend, which is to modify your apt repositories. Of course, if the software manager was accessible, you could just click on the button and it would do this by default, but we'll just work with this. So I'll type Flatpak
F-L-A-T-P-A-K
install
I-N-S-T-A-L-L
and then Brave. And the thing to note here is you do not have to run this as root.
B-R-A-V-E.
It does not require special permissions.
Looking for matches. Found refapp/com.brave.browser/x8664/stable in remote flash hub system. Use this ref. Y/N.
Okay, I'm going to hit Y. It says it found it. The default repository for Flatpaks is flathub.org, I believe.
Y.
So press Y.
Required runtime for com.brave.browser/x8664/stable runtime/org.free.
There's a bunch of components it needs. I'll press Y.
Y. com.brave.browser permissions. IP network cups DCSC pulse audio wayland xlet Y.
There's different permissions here that you have to accept. I'll press Y.
One org.free desktop. One org.1.
So at this point, it is downloading Brave and all the components that it needs.
Lang installing 1/8 20 character.
So Flatpak is containerized. I believe all the data is self-contained. It's not allowed to access certain parts of the system without your permission. And because it's a containerized thing, you can install this on pretty much any distribution that you want, as long as you have access to Flatpak itself.
Blank installing 7/8 20 characters 100% 14.8 MB/S000.
And it should be done here in just a second.
8 com.brave.blank installing 8/8 20 characters 100% 43.6 MB/S0 blank installing 8/8.
It's still installing, and it should be done here in just a second. So yeah, this is how you can install.
Installation complete. Chris at Mint $.
Right. Let's say I also want Discord.
FLATPAKINSTALLDISCORD. Looking for matches. Similar refs found for Discord in remote FlatHub system. 1 app/the.source.discord screen audio/x8664/stable.
Now, in this case, it found a bunch of different results, and I think the one I want is, let me read here by line.
2 app/com.discord app.discord/x8664/stable.
We want number 2, so I'll type number 2.
com.discord app.discord permissions. Y. 1 com.discord app.discord stable iflathub less 112.0 MB. 1 com.
I think this is the official Discord app, if I'm not mistaken. The thing about FlatHub is some of these packages may not be official.
Installation complete. Chris at Mint $.
So now I've installed Brave and Discord using Flatpak. Flatpaks won't update by default, but if you want to check from the command line, you type
FLATPAKUPDATE. Looking for updates. Nothing to do. Chris at Mint $.
And I was hitting the space bar. It's just not reading that because I turned that off. But you do have to put a space in between the Flatpak command and the other commands that you want to do. As you can tell, there are no new updates because I just installed these programs. But now if I go back out of here,
desktop menu.
Let's go into the menus here.
Accessories menu, graphics menu, internet menu, Brave.
There's the Brave browser. I could run it and then go through the process of configuring it.
Discord, Firefox web browser, Discord.
Discord is also listed here under this menu.
Firefox web browser, internet menu, icon view 0 items.
So that's just an idea of how you install programs and get them to work. Last thing I want to do is show you how to install a different voice because you may not like using eSpeak. I'm going to install Voxen, which is it's a commercial product you have to purchase, and I will put a link to the website in the description here. But you can get the vocalizer voices. So let's install Vocalizer Ava, which I have purchased. It is the newer compressed version. I don't like that, but it sounds better than this. So I have a flash drive here that I copied the installation program to. So let me plug this into the computer. And it should actually open the window by default.
USB frame. Icon view. System volume information
Maybe down
folder.
arrow here, or go to the right. I should really set this in list view, which you can do if you go to the menu bar.
File menu, edit menu, preferences.
And you go to preferences.
File management preferences dialog. Views page tab. View new folders using combo box. Icon view.
Let's go down to list view.
List view. Views close push button. Icon view.
And let me close this and go back
Icon
into it.
view.
Now on the desktop,
USB icon.
it does mount your drives like it does in Mac OS. So if you're used to that from Mac, you'll probably like this.
USB frame. List view tree table.
Now it's in list view. Let's down arrow.
System volume in box in American English of ML Premium 3.4 collapsed. 12 items. Folder. Sun 50 Oct 2023 12 to 42 p.m. CDT.
Okay. Let's cut this to the clipboard. I'm going to move it somewhere else.
X. Cut selection to clipboard.
Press Alt F4.
USB icon.
Let's go to my home folder. Alt Shift H.
H. Chris frame. List view tree table.
Of course, in your home folder you have things like
Desktop collapsed. Documents collapsed. Downloads collapsed. Music collapsed. Pictures collapsed. Public collapsed. Templates collapsed.
Alright, and if I wanted
Zero item.
to
Public collapsed.
go into something like, I don't know,
Music collapsed.
press Enter. Now I can check the title of the window,
Music.
and I'm in the music folder, which is empty. I can hit backspace,
Downloads collapsed.
and here we
Zero.
are,
Chris.
back in my home folder. Let's paste this with, obviously, Control V.
V.
I'm going to move this
File
over to the...
operations frame. Pasted contents from clipboard. Cancel push button. 21%. Chris
Okay.
frame. Pasted contents from clipboard. Box in America. Chris.
And actually
Chris
that copied over, or it was moved over pretty quickly.
USB icon.
Let me make sure there's
List
nothing
view
on
tree
here.
tape. System volume information collapsed.
That's a thing that's made by Windows. You hear this little noise when you can't do anything else.
USB icon.
And let's get rid of it. I'm going to bring up the context menu with Shift F10.
Menu. Properties.
Of course, you got all the
Open.
usual things here.
Open with other application. Resize icon. Open in terminal. Compress. Send to eject. Notification. It is now safe to remove the drive. Icon view 0 items.
That's how you eject drives. Let me unplug the flash drive and put it back in my pocket. Now let's talk about installing this. So I believe you have to do this from the terminal. I don't think it'll work in the file manager. And actually I do want to run it from the terminal because I want to run the install program as root so it's installed for the system.
T. Chris at Mint. Frame. Chris at Mint. Dollar.
So
Chris Mint.
I'm actually in my home folder right now because that's where the terminal starts. Let's type,
C. D.
I'll type VO
V. O.
and then press tab.
In American English of ML Premium 3.4 /
And then that will complete the command and make sure that it's properly there.
Chris Mint. Box in American English of ML Premium 3.4.
Now I
Chris at Mint.
believe I have to make the script executable. Let me try
Dot
slash.
V. O. X. In installer.sh.
Okay.
V/dot.
Now I want to add.
S-U Chris at mo dot dot sudo password for Chris.
I want to run that as root. Type my password. Actually, I may not have to make it executable.
Logs written in log/box in .log initialization. Please wait. Do you want to install a new language? If yes, press the enter key.
I'll do that.
Do you agree the licenses? If yes, press the enter key.
And it's going to take some time here to install. Once it does, I should be good to restart. And I'll do that. And then I should be able to use Ava instead of eSpeak, which will sound a hell of a lot better. So we shall see if that actually works. And just waiting for it to prompt me that it's done. This does take a little bit of time.
The changes will be taken into account on next boot. Goodbye, Chris at Mint. /Vox in America. Desktop.
I'm going to close the terminal.
Icon U0 desk. Shutdown can restart push button.
There's the echo going off. I will be back once this is back up and running. Okay, let's see if it's getting ready to reboot, because I think I want you to hear what it sounds like, because it should switch to using Voxen automatically, because it's my new default engine. But let's see, because I guess it's still booting. Still booting. This is why you shouldn't use a platter drive, because they take a while to do things. But in Linux, it's not as bad as it would be in modern Windows, because modern Windows is bloated as all hell. So I'm just waiting for speech to come back up, and we should be able to continue. Now, what I want to do is...
Screen reader on. Login screen frame. Enter password for Christopher Wright password text.
Okay, as you can tell, the pitch is off. I want to change that and do some other stuff. So let's hit Orca space. So this will modify the preferences for this particular window. This is before you log into the system itself.
Screen reader preferences dialog. OK. General voice page tab. Speak Braille echo tab. Enable space. Not checked.
I don't want key echo.
Echo page tab. Braille speech voice page
Let's
tab.
go to voice.
Tab. Voice type settings. Speech system. Speech synthesis. Language : person : combo box. Default voice.
Right. You can change a bunch of things in here.
Capitalization style. Rate : horizontal 49.
Let's
57.
increase the rate here.
64. 65.
This is what I'm used to.
Pitch : horizontal slider 5. 5.0.
The pitch is too high.
5. 5. 5. Pitch : horizontal slider 5. 5.3. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 4. 4. Volume. Pitch : 4. Pitch : horizontal slider 4. 4.5.
Now I find if you put the pitch to 4.5, it sounds normal.
Volume : horizontal slider 10. 10.0. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 9. 9.
Let's go to the left.
8. 8. 8. 8. 7. 7. 7. 7. 7. 7. 7. 7. 7. 6. Global voice type settings panel. Volume : horizontal slider 6. 6.5. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. Voice type settings panel. Volume : horizontal slider 6. 5.9. 6.
Let's go back up to 6. And
Pitch : rate : horizontal slider 65. 65.
it's actually...
Capitalization style : rate : 60.
Let's slow that down a little bit.
Capitalization style : person : language speech system voice type voice OK push tab voice page speech page Braille page tab speech tab enables verbosity punctuation level panel sum
Set
selected
the
radio
punctuation to
left,
sum.
OK push return screen reader settings reloaded login screen frame enter password for Christopher Wright password text.
Now I can log in. And I'll have to do the same thing after I log in, because it loads different preferences for each user.
Screen reader on.
So let me do that real quick. I'll pause the recording. And here we are. Hopefully this isn't too fast.
Menu. Accessories menu. Graphics menu. Internet menu. Office menu. Sound and video menu. Celluloid. VLC media player. Sound. Rhythmbox. Hypnotix. Celluloid. Icon view 0 items.
So yeah, it's definitely the more compressed version of Vocalizer, but it sounds better.
Capital H. Desk Chris frame. List view tree table. Desktop collapsed. 0 items. Folder. Wednesday, August 7th, 2024, 9:17 and 42 seconds AM CDT. Tree level 1.
Yeah, hopefully that this isn't too fast.
Documents collapsed.
I mean, I guess I could slow it down a little bit. Let me actually do that real quick.
Screen reader preferences dialog. General
Let's go
voice page speech page tab.
speech.
Punctuation level.
Or no, we want to go to
speech page voice page
voice.
length person capital rate 59 55 voice OK screen reader settings reloaded Chris frame documents collapsed Downloads collapsed.
just for the
Music
purposes of
collapsed.
demo.
Pictures collapsed.
I would
0.
turn it up about 10% higher.
Public collapse. Templates collapse. Videos collapse. Vox in American English AVML Premium 3.4 collapse.
Now, I don't need this anymore. I've just installed it, so we're going to get rid of it and save some disk space. Again, in Windows, you could hit delete, which would send it to the trash, or you can hit shift delete.
Alert warning. Are you sure you want to permanently delete Vox in American English AVML Premium 3.4? If you delete an item, it will be permanently lost. Delete push button. Cancel push button.
Actually, I do want to show you the trash. Let me
Chris frame.
not
Vox
do
in
that.
Video. Vox in American videos collapsed. 0 items.
Now, I just hit delete, and it was moved there without a confirmation. I believe you can turn that on somewhere.
Icon view 0 items.
But as you can tell, the problem right now is there's no way to get to the trash. So let's work on a way to get that working. Now, in the control center, there is an option called desktop settings. I'm sorry, I hate that. Desktop settings, stupid stutter, where you can turn on different icons for your desktop. The problem is it's not very accessible and you have to do mouse clicks. Again, I'm hoping that they fix that. So let's install a program that is accessible.
T. Terminal frame.
Let's open the terminal.
SUDOPT.
Update.
Sudo password for Chris.
We'll just do an update just to make sure that we're running the
0% working. In 1 HTTP.
latest
24. 9.
stuff here.
Chris said all packages are up to date.
And we're going to install
SUDOAPTINSTALLMATE
Mate
hyphen
dash tweak.
TWEAK reading package lists. After this operation, 1008Y 0% working.
We're going to install this.
Line feed. Selecting reading database. Unpacking libf4t64a. Unpacking. Progress. Processing trick. Progress. Lang. Progress. 92%.
Should be done here in just a second.
Lang. Chris at mint. $.
Yes, it is.
Desktop. Icon view
All
0
right,
items.
let's use my new keyboard command here. Alt-Shift-S.
Desktop. Control center frame. Administer.
Tab through here.
In per other back draw log printer soft synapse system time and update users Bluetooth blue disk display keyboard mouse power sound advanced firewall network appearance desktop settings push button.
That is what comes with this system, but like I said, it's not very accessible.
Input method push languages main menu may tweak push button.
We're going to go in here.
Customize desktop panel and window manager settings. Layered pane 0 items.
Okay, I think this lets you choose categories. Again, it's not the most accessible thing, but if I tab,
Desktop icons panel. Select the desktop icons you want enabled. Show desktop icons checkbox checked. Computer checkbox not checked.
computer, this is a view of your drives and things like that. I don't really need that.
Home checkbox not checked.
Don't need that. I have a keyboard command.
Trash checkbox not checked. Checked.
We do want that though.
Network checkbox not checked.
Don't need that.
Mounted volumes checkbox checked.
You probably want that on.
Close push button.
We'll hit close.
Control center frame. Icon view. Trash icon.
And here's the trash. Now, if you wanted to make this even less verbose, you could set Orca's verbosity to brief. Now, if I press enter here on trash.
Trash frame. List view tree table. Vox in American English AVML Premium 3.4 collapse.
Here it is in the trash. If I hit delete.
Alert warning. Are you sure you want to permanently delete Vox in American English AVML Premium 3.4 from the trash? If you delete an item, it will be permanently lost. Delete push button.
And of course you can do that.
List view tree table.
Now the trash is empty. And I believe just like in macOS, each drive can have its own trash location as well. So that's how the trash works. Now I think...
Trash icon.
Let me see if I can bring up the properties. I'm going to hit Alt-Enter.
Trash properties dialog. Basic page tab.
Let's
Name.
tab here.
Text. Contents. Nothing select. Modified. Create help push close basic page tab notes page tab basic page tab note text
All right, I guess you can't do anything.
help push button close push help push notes page tab text tab blank
Oh, that's a notes thing. Let's get rid of those tabs. If you get stuck in text boxes like that, you can hit Control Tab to move your keyboard cursor past them.
help push button close push
I'm
button
going to close out of here.
desktop trash icon
So I'm not sure if there's a way to enable a delete confirmation when you just hit the delete key to move things to the trash. So just be careful. I guess the good news is if you do that, you can always check the trash folder and make sure that they're in there. Let me see, because I think if I right click on trash or
menu
bring up the
open
context menu,
open with other app rename resize icon compress send to property open with other application
yeah, okay, there's not an option to empty the trash, I don't think.
trash icon
Anyway, I think this has gone on quite long enough. Hopefully you have found this useful. Obviously, I haven't covered nearly as much as I could. And if you guys want me to cover something else, let me know. But I think for now that I'm going to call this done. I will come back probably in December, January, and show you how to update from Mint 22 to 22.1. And then I think I'll do a thing in 2026 that shows you how to do an in-place upgrade from 22 to 23. But yeah, so unless you guys have any more things that you want me to cover or try to cover, I will just have to call this done. Make sure I'm still recording. Yes, I am. So yeah, that is a look at Mint. And let me turn off my recording here and unplug the cable. So yeah, that is a look at Mint. It's pretty accessible, but it's not perfect. I have reported some issues on GitHub about some of these problems. Hopefully they will be fixed in time. But that is a look at how you use it. And I hope this helps some people. And yeah, I linked to the documentation for Orca as well, so you should be able to read that. And yeah, so that's going to do it for this one. Until next time, you guys take care. Bye.